Jim can recall when he was younger, my grandmother would send my dad newspaper clippings. They would be newspaper clippings of someone getting married or getting engaged or having a newborn child or someone's child going to college or graduating high school, or sometimes just a news clipping about someone's kids coming in to visit them. Now, one thing about those news clippings, Dad had been away from home for a while, usually did not know or remember who the people in the news clippings were. And when he would ask, his mother would say, "You know, that girl that you sat next to in kindergarten, that's her brother, or that's her nephew." And so anyway, that would be the kind of news clippings Dad would get from his mother. But one of the things that Jim found interesting was how some of the clippings were just things about someone graduating, someone going off to college, someone's kids coming to visit them from away, maybe overseas, maybe from the big city, or maybe just coming in to visit. Be newspaper clippings about family reunions, be newspaper clippings about just get-togethers and barbecues, maybe homecomings at a church, homecoming games at a local high school. When I pick up the paper today, our paper is tabloid sized, and usually it is a 4-page section. Front page, you open it and there's the second and third page. Then you fold that third page over and there's your fourth page. Sometimes you'll get some regional news, so you'll have 2 sections of the paper. Then you add the sports, you have 3 sections of the paper. And all of them are just that 4-page little tabloid kind of section of the paper. And then you get the important part of the paper, the ads, the coupons, and all such as that. But I find it interesting. People always talk about there's nothing worth reading in the paper. They've stopped subscribing to the papers and all kinds of things. And some of them don't even look at the news online. They say it's depressing, they say it's boring, or just think it's fake news. And I wonder how we went from not too long ago, 1960s, and Jim does realize that's about 50, 60 years ago. But it's not that long, really, how we've gone from newspapers celebrating that somebody's grandkids have come to visit them, or maybe that somebody's grandkids are spending the summer with them while they're out of school, or maybe they're celebrating the birth of a grandkid, celebrating someone's 75th birthday. Newspaper is letting us know that such and such is getting married, letting us know that such and such has passed away, and how the community always was excited about the things they did in the community. Any more obituaries are little short, maybe 2-paragraph things, and here locally they have to be paid for by the family, so sometimes they're even shorter. Bob died, Bob had a wife, Bob survived by his kids. That's the end of the obituary. And then I read obituaries that my grandmother would send my dad, and they would talk about how Bob had worked at the school as a janitor for 10 years, how Bob had volunteered with different organizations, how Bob would help his neighbor mow the yard, and how everybody at the local diner knew Bob and knew what his favorite meal was when he went in to visit. Jim kind of thinks we miss those days. Not just reports of those in the newspaper, but things like that happening anywhere. People celebrating the events of other people's lives, whether it's a 75th birthday, whether it's a new grandchild being born, whether it's somebody graduating. Sure, we do those things for our immediate family, but how many of us celebrate those things for other members of the community? How many of us get excited anymore about someone's 75th birthday? How many of us get excited anymore about somebody's first grandkid, or their grandkid getting married, or their grandkid graduating? Seems like we've cocooned a lot. Jim knows COVID didn't help any with that. But we've all become very insular. And even when we do travel outside, it's to do things with our family, take a kid to a soccer game, take a kid to football practice, or go to the grocery store. And even then, we try to stay as cocooned as we can. We like to call the grocery store ahead and have them have our order ready. We could pull up, tell them we're in spot number 4, and they'll bring our food out to us. Same way we prefer to go through drive-through. That way we don't have to go in, be with the public. We don't have to see the public celebrating. Maybe hear the people at the other table talking about how excited they are about their new grandkid. But I think as those things have fallen out of favor with newspapers and fallen out of favor with people, the world's changed a whole lot. And I know change is inevitable. But I think that we've lost something of ourselves when we stopped being excited for other people. We've lost a little bit of what makes us human when we stopped being excited for other humans, stopped being excited about other humans, any events in their lives. But that's just Jim's take on it. He would be curious in the comments to know if you remember those articles in the newspaper. Maybe your local paper is a small hometown paper that still has those kind of things. Anyway, leave a comment and let Jim know if your paper ever had those kind of sections. If it still does have that section, Jim would be interested to know what kind of things are celebrated where you're from, whose lives are celebrated, who everybody in the community remembers. Jim will talk to you guys later.